Kimbo. Tata nZambi Yamazulu. Kimfumo Kakuisa. nZambi Mawesha. nZambi Akubanisha. nZambi Monene. Sorry. Mbote Yenge Keno. Yenge Mbote. Luvubamu Yala. Kimbo, hallelujah. Bayet and Kosi. Kimbo. Family. This message is one that I hope will ring loudly. People will begin to understand. I want to bring you, welcome you once again to another video. We're going to get into the song. I welcome you, all of you. Hope everybody's doing well. Luciemi, away Luciemi, Cambo Tequeno. For those who don't know what that means, I'm asking you, how are you? Are you in the way? Is the seed sower with you? And so now I'll get into the song and then we'll start the message. I do not own the copyrights. This song is not for redistribution of any kind. It's solely for edification purposes only. This is not for redistribution. I'm not using this for any means of wealth or to earn any profit. And get that. Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna tell. Lovely. Once again, Kimbo na Tata nZambi ya Mazulu. Bayeti. First and foremost, giving up Kimbo and Gogo, the Tata nZambi and Pongo Tulendo, a Kongo Yabe, Ya Kongo, Tata nZambi and Pongo Tulendo. Come humbly before your throne once again, Yaya, for this message, and that people will receive it. That protection will be over it as we move forward with this message, Tata. Kongo Yabe Kongo and get the giving honor to Kuswa Kongo, Yesu Kristu, Yesaya, the Chiluba, the Bana Betu, the Bana Kongo, the Bana nZambi, the true Messiah of the scriptures, giving honor to the Mondavelala, the Moyen Peve, the, what they call it, nZambi, Moyen Santu. Sorry, it was wet there, Washington. I give honor to all the Pemba Kalunga, Yengi Pemba Kalunga, Yengi to Alamaleki Makongo, Aslamaleki Kongo. I give all Yengi to the 24 righteous elders, righteous judges, to all the descendants of Abana that are righteous down to today, to the lineage, Kimbo, Hallelujah, Bayet, and Kosi. The message today that I'm going to be working on, that I'm entitling is, they fear the house of Judah, Yaounde, the most feared Kongo tribe on the earth, the tribe of Yaounde, the tribe of the totem of the lion, Simba, Yuda, of the North Kuswa Kongo. Why, and this is going to explain, why it's so important that the world is not aware of this fact, because Tata nZambi really did not separate himself from the tribe of Yaounde. The house of Yaounde was separated from the house of Nzolele. The return, this is why Yaounde would be responsible for bringing Nzolele together. But as the scriptures like to say, his people played the harlot, and this is why, as I spoken previously in previous videos, why the world sees us, for those who know the truth, as a dirty harlot of the Most High that has lost its way. But the Most High said he would return his bride to himself, which is why it was necessary to create alternative scenarios for that through the deception of religions. But in the process, it's just like when you are with a woman and you're married that likes to go promiscuity and gets passed around, and you choose to like how he did it with Ngoma, how he said to take a woman of whoring. Okay, that when you do this when this happens with somebody who's married, but then the intent of those who take advantage want to make sure that she's never going back to him and that he's always humiliated. And that process is to, make him feel emasculated because he can't keep his woman. And essentially, that's the mentality that we're dealing with on a spiritual level with the relationship that's the Most High had with Shatani, because when you play the harlot, you are chasing after Shatani when it comes to a marriage and those type of things. And many of us that have experienced this, we result in divorces, but then you've heard stories where people get divorced and then they remarry again. Okay. But in that meantime, you know, you might have the husband who stayed not chasing after anybody, but then the wife goes and says, "Oh yeah, I'm free, I'm divorced," and then they go running after other men, and you realize, "Oh wow, I thought the grass was green on the other side," and then you find out that it was not. Okay, sorry, that's my train of thought. I was trying to pull up something here. They'll come back to me. So sorry, it's just still. So you know, the one thing that people need to realize is this is why it's so important that the world is ignorant of many things about history. The world is ignorant about many truths that people had to be conditioned to believe certain things. Also, I want to welcome those of you coming back to come to my channel. For those who have intentions of learning, you know, in this channel, I know many people are unaware of this, but I don't really do any debating. It's not my way. Occasionally, I'll bring people on if they wish to join me. I haven't had somebody in a while, but the Most High will decide when that time is right, and then we'll see how it goes. Makanda family, Makanda. The one thing that I want to help our people to understand in this time is there's no longer any need to hide ourselves. People still keep talking about, oh, I don't want to say it too loud, might call me anti whatever. But the reality is that, you know, for those of us, especially for those of us who aren't coded, coded means that we're not any part of any organizations where we're being manipulated through secret societies. But for those of us who are not, it's important for us to begin to wake up. That's why the lions roar. Because what has happened, and I'm going to share my screen, especially with the House of Judah, Yaounde, Yuda, Yaounde. Share my picture real quick. This is what the world doesn't understand is was the intent when the Tata nZambi, the Most High of Truth, sent his kingdoms, scattered tribes into the wind of the four corners, scattered across the earth. The mindset was to make sure that the house of Yaounde, Judah, Yuda, the Yuda, was to feel like they were mentally and physically enslaved in a cage. Okay. Because the biggest fear, especially for the house of Yaounde, Yuda, is to see this particular tribe with eyes lit up and, more like this lion here out in the open, ready to go, ready to do damage, ready for the call, especially, with the tribe runs in what runs in a, now I understand why they use the word pride, because with the lion, this in Simba, our pride is what led to our downfall. But you know, the rock of our salvation, you know, that's why it's time for us to kutelama, to get up. Kutelema is what we need to do, is to get up and stop being, and the ditadi. Okay, now I understand something. The ditadi, the nZambi, ignore what this is. I'm gonna switch it up. Kanang ngekele maklistu, okuso Bantu Bendwila, Yina Menuna, Kutuba na ngeti mambu ye nge kesala lenda, monisa Bantu, yankaka nde yepoa Yehowa, kele dekunzi na nge mpinde na yandi mbe kele ve. Time to get up. Of course, they said dekunzi, and this one ditadi na ye. Okay. nZambi and Pungu, and of course Kuso Kongo Yisu is the one that he made to build the rock of the house of the Zolide to Yaounde, because this is and see, the thing about it wasn't always us who broke free. Not all of the tribe of Yaounde agreed to separate from the Most High. However, sorry, still itchy my chin here. But as it says in Amos 99, and if you see, this is where the 99 stuff started to come from. And we know the Kuso Kongo is 999. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Nzolele among all nations. So once again, for those who want to say all, once again, it's sifting. It's a remnant. Like as corn is sifted in a sieve, you shall not be the least grain fall upon the earth. So what you're witnessing now, that the world is not understanding, that has been given false doctrines and beliefs and religions, is the Most High is now currently sifting the house of Nzolide among the nations, to where only those who hear the true calling of the Bana Kongo, the nZambis, the true awakening of the full-fledged awakening, is starting to come into the real knowledge and understanding of the truth of the Most High's ways. That's why the powers that be that understood the power of what Yaounde, Yuda, possess as the totem of the lion. Okay, this was a threat to the establishment, and this is why it was important to hide or mask and to humiliate the lion. As we know, they traded one lion for the other, because they also had the symbol of the lion as the symbol of the lion of Nimrod. But our lion, we know, is way more power than he. But because we were manipulated into receiving this false lion spirit, is why the Most High turned his backs on us, that the world's not aware of, and why now it's so important to not help to understand that all this time the people were being mistreated and abused. Yaya did a video recently showing about how the preacher, I think that was from the movie 12 Years a Slave, but I can't remember, where we had the man and the woman had their eyes burnt out as he was reading the scripture about how the Most High's chosen people have been cast out, as to show you um, that it was felt that it was the responsibility of the nations to punish the Most High's people, but in the process, not let the world know that there was a punishment going on because of the manipulation of the concept of who is the true body of Christ or the Messiah figure, you know, and that's why it's important to skip over in Christianity when he says, "I came not but for the lost sheep of the house of nZambi." But you notice that because Yaounde and nZambi is not is yes, you have the whole name of nZambi, but he specifically didn't mention Yaounde. Why is that? But he specifically mentioned nZambi, the house, because Tata nZambi really had not divorced Yaounde. So technically, this tribe was spiritually connected to the Most High, and so was, and because of that, the knowledge, was still accessible. Now, as it talks about in the scripture, uh, the Melia 3:8, I thought, I thought that for she had done all these things, she would return to me, but she did not return, and her unfaithful sister Yaounde saw it. She saw that because of the faithless of Nzolile had committed adultery, I gave her a certificate of divorce and sent her away. Yet, oh, sorry. Okay, so he gives, this is where your 9/11 comes from, by the way. So he gave the 11 tribes, 11 kingdoms, a certificate of divorce of the Bana nZambi, the Bana Kongos. Okay, now understand this promotes a problem for the earth and those who were trying to cut us off from being a nation, Psalms 33. Because if the Most High did not give the tribe of Yaoundé a certificate of divorce, that means that technically that tribe is still attached to him, but he is not happy because it says, yet the unfaithful sister Yaoundé had no fear and prostituted herself as well. Okay, indifferent to her own infidelity, Nzolili had defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and trees. So let's go to the full chapter and verse on that. Let's start the whole thing here. Okay. They say if a man or Muntu put away his wife and she go from him and become another man, she'll return to her again. Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, says Tata nZambi. Now, for those of us who have a much stronger familiarity of the land of Canaan and where the 12 tribes of Nzolili, the 12 kingdoms really were, okay, we know that this is one of the reasons why there's such a need to hide the truth from the world, because what the Most High, what they know, okay, as Shaitani mentioned to Uzziah, Kongo, he said, I have been given dominion over the kingdoms of this earth. Now remember, this dominion had a beginning and it has an expiration date. in that process of the dominion and the expiration date, it was always the intent of the fallen ones to make sure that the 12 tribes or the 12 or the chosen of the Most High would be the targeted group to bring down, to separate them from the Creator, because he had made this promise that with Yakuba and Bana and Saka and Yakuba, that he would have a nation that would forever be his covenant. Okay. And the covenant would be written upon the hearts of these people. Okay. Now we go back to what it says in Second Ezra once again, where he said the earth was always destined to be built for the kingdom of Yaonde, the 12 tribes, the 12 kingdoms. But the problem was, and this has always been the issue with the moon tool, and how Shaitani and his other minions played their role, was to keep these people in disharmony and not understand it's not really a bunch of different tribes or kingdoms. It's one kingdom that happens to have, 12 brothers. Yakubi had some children. And, it was important to keep this division constantly going while Shaitani had been given his dominion. Okay. This is why uh, when you look at the way they treated our ancestors treated the prophets, how we've treated one another, how we continue to treat one another even today, it shows that there has always been a desire to not want to be like the Most High, but everybody else does. Okay. So that's why it says, this is one of the reasons why the Embo, or the sub-Saharan African region, has become greatly polluted, that was given over to the Abafundi. And he says, but thou hast played the harlot with many lovers. That means the Bana Kongo, the nZambis, the Bana Betu have been with many gods. And remember, these gods are all of the house of Shaitani. Okay. So it was important that Tata nZambi, once he had given Zolile the divorce, that when Yaounde followed, that it was important to keep that tribe from recognizing itself, because it really had not been disconnected from the Most High, and also Kuswa Kongo. And so it was important to make the world believe that these people have been replaced by those who do, in fact, claim to be the Most High's children, and then also choose to be affiliated with the real Messiah, because they say. And then, of course, the even bigger deception was to make that felt those who had been divorced, who were thought to be the ones who were divorced, have come back to the Messiah. Oh yeah, we received the real Messiah now. Okay, when in reality, it's nothing's further from the truth. What has happened is the real 12 tribes have actually turned their back on the real Creator and went after a different Messiah. and rejected the one that they were still supposed to be with. Okay. And this is what they know to be the real truth. Now, the scriptures validate it, but the interpretation has been what the issue is, and also the modifications of other scriptures that are known to be the fact that, especially in the book of Jasher, Jasher is one of the reasons why it's not in there is because Africa is a main part of where the tribes were at. Okay. Now, we've heard famous musicians like KRS One and others. He talks about how Shem was a black man in Africa. If you say this, then they can't laugh at you. And he started breaking down how then came Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And of course, Jacob had 12 sons, and these were the tribes of Israel. Okay. It talks about how they're all black, right? We see people like Malcolm X. We see people like Farrakhan. We see people like, because we can say truth is truth no matter who says it. And the thing that's even the most puzzling part about this is the people who are claiming that there are those who say they're claiming it have actually come forward and say, yes, they are. You have people who will say that we are the converts and they are the true blood. But this is something that's not supposed to be known universally. Okay. And of course, because the tribe of Yaounde or Judah is the most feared tribe, of the fact that this is the tribe that the Most High will be able to use to restore his nation, it must be kept a secret that this tribe is, in fact, uh, still part of the bride. Okay. Still part of the bridegroom. That's why now, when you talk about how he talks about whoring, okay, this is why you see many of our people that are willingly going into contracts or deals or even being a part of and affiliated with stuff where they find out that they have become controlled or owned yet again in another way, like what happened in slavery. When we talk about what Ye, I guess he's calling himself Ye now, said when he said that it was a choice, what he means it was a choice was we, Bana Kongo, Bana Zombies, in the Kingdom of Kongo, did not have to go to Catholicism. But we chose to do that. And because of Catholicism's deception about how they were responsible for the slave trade, we're saying no, they were. Okay. They had an involvement in it. This is why it was more of a choice because we didn't have to become Catholics. Okay. We chose to do this, which resulted in the disconnect from the Father and not saying that they're saying, oh no, we found Jesus, we found God. No, that was the lie. We already had the Most High, we had the Messiah. But this was the strong delusion that continued, this was a strong delusion. And that resulted in, when he talks about how when you commit adultery against the Creator, that you will receive many and the scripture is very clear. When you go against the Most High, you will receive many punishments of different kinds. So it says, lift up thine eyes unto the high places and see where thou hast not been lean with. In the ways hast thou sat on them as the raven of wilderness, and thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness. Therefore, the showers have been withholden, and there have been no latter rain. And thou hast a whore's forehead, thou refusest to be ashamed. So again, And this is where you can actually see this even happening now among many Bantu people, Bana Kongo, Bana Zombies, who have been scattered, Negroes, the true Negroes, is that now it's like we do all the things that we want to do, and we're not ashamed of it. You know, nothing bothers. We don't. It doesn't matter that we hurt the Most High's heart because of the manipulation of the system that's around us. Will thou not from this time cry unto me, my father? Thou art the God of my youth. Will he reserve his anger forever? Will he keep it to the end? Behold, thou hast spoken and done evil things that couldst. That the nZambi has also unto me in the days of Uzziah, Josiah the king, Josiah, hast thou seen the backsliding of the Solomon has done? She has gone up every mountain and under every green, and there have played the harlot. Okay. And again, that's worshiping other idols, you know, other gods, uh, turning, you know, against the law. And I said, after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me, but she returned not. And her treacherous sister Yaounde saw it. So again, and when I saw, and all the causes were by backsliding, so that they committed adultery, I put her away and given her a bill of divorce, yet her treacherous sister Yaounde feared not, but went and played the harlot also. And it came to pass through the lightness of the whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. And yet all of this, her treacherous sister Yaounde had not returned unto me in her whole heart, but fiendly says to Tata nZambi. And Tata nZambi said, the backsliding of Isolde has justified herself more than treacherous Yaounde. Go and proclaim these words toward the north and say, return thou backsliding Isolde. I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful, and I will not keep anger forever. Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against Tata nZambi, thy Mfumu, and hast scattered the ways to the strangers, unto every green tree, and yea, have not obeyed my voice, Tata nZambi. So, with this scripture here, okay, this is why it's so important for the identity theft to be in process. This is why it's meant to give people the impression that the people he's referring to are in fact the people whose bloodline comes through the children of Ashkenaz. And of course, Esau, when you look at the lineage itself. But then when you look at, and that's why this is part of the reason why they took out the book of Jasher, because when you look at the wives of the 12 tribes, they were mixing themselves with dark-skinned women, dark-skinned women. But at the same time, in Shem was actually a black man, a little bit darker than me. But of course, this is something that they wish not to acknowledge, okay? And this is the issue where, you know, just to prove, and scientifically it's proven that these men of Noka had to be darker skinned people, because it is physically impossible to turn somebody into a melanated person from white skin. Okay, this is not about race. This is about understanding the concept of scientific genealogy. You cannot put melanin back in. You can only take it out. So therefore, one race had to have come from the other, not the other way around. If you want to talk about the concept of evolution that people like to put in there. Evolution-wise, that's the way it really should go. That whiter skin came from darker skin. So then, therefore, from that perspective, even as a biblical way, it has to be done the same way. And the scientific community can do it. Now, I'll say this is part of the reason why you'll say many Christians say, "Oh, this science is so bogus. It's a lie. It's made up." Why? Because it actually proves the fact that the world had to have been darker before it became lighter with whiter people. Okay. But at the same time, though, there's actually scriptures, and many of them have been tossed out for this very reason, that validate that same claim. Okay. And this is why it's important that those who are trying to create this fabricated system of dominance of one race over another, okay, is to get people to understand, okay, this is why it's important to push this concept. Oh, we all must love one race and because we all came from the creator, blah, blah, blah. And the reality is that they don't get it. Is the scriptures demonstrate the fact that when you are a heathen, you are not coming from the Most High. This is a fact. It's in the Old Testament. Is written down, but they don't teach this concept. So the problem is those who worship false gods cannot be from the Most High. Okay. But where the Most High anger was when his nation started to do the same and take in false gods. Okay. When he had already made a covenant. So now the tribe of Yaounde becomes very dangerous to the world because even as Nzolele is the one that is coming back to Tata, okay, Yaounde plays a very important role in this because of this is the tribe that King Kongo, Usaya Kongo, Kristu and King Davidi, very powerful men, they come from. And it's the Yala, and that's why we do the Yala number 4 to honor. Okay, that's what the song says, Lutala Yuda. Okay, Yaounde is a significant player in restoring the connection. Where do we see this? Okay, Isekaya or Ezekiel 37, where he talks about, moreover, in verse 16, Benan Muntu, son of man, Benan Muntu, take the one stick and write upon it for Yaounde and for the children of Insolele, his companions. So there's a separation, okay? Then take another stick, write upon it for Yosef, you, and the stick of Ephraim for the house of Insolele, his companions. So that's why when you look at this and join them together and they should become one in my hand, it is important for people to not realize this is something that will be in the end of days, okay? That this is something that is supposed to play out for all eternity, okay? Because he goes down and further and says that, and join them one together, and when the Moana of thy people or children shall speak on these things, wilt thou show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, thus says Tata nZambi, behold, I will take the stick of Yosef, you, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribe is only his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Yaounde, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. and the sticks there whereon thou ridest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, thus says Tata nZambi, Yahweh Kongo, behold, I will make the children of Yaonde from among the heathen, and whither they be gone, and shall gather them every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of nZambi, and one king shall be a king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms at any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all of their dwelling places wherein they have sinned. I will cleanse them, so they shall be my people, and I will be their Fumu. And Davidi, my servant, shall be king over them. And they shall have one shepherd, and they also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. So, this scripture right here creates a conundrum for those who are pushing Christianity, Islam, Judaism. These are all the Most High's beliefs. Because in reality, this scripture right here is why they wanted to say, oh no, this is the old covenant. There's a new covenant now. Oh, Jesus Christ is the new covenant, and anybody who believes in him, they become the Most High's children. Okay? That's why you omit this, and then you use another group of people who then come in and say, no, this is us. This fits us. This is what the Most High is doing for us. But yet, you have another conundrum, because this is part of the reason why they skip these books on purpose. Because when you come to Hosea, it says that once he has restored his kingdom, it says here that all the other gods' names are erased. So there's a name change. You're not, see, that's why, and that's what I'm saying. He's saying, as the creator saying in this book, okay, for I will take the names of Balaam out of her mouth. So his people will never use these names ever again. That's why it's important that these names were never known in the first place of what this means. Okay. If you don't even know the names of what this means, then you don't know how to erase these names out of your mouth. Okay. That's why it's so important that when they made the English language the dominant language of the earth, especially of the people who come from what they call the most powerful nation, to give them a name that was so generic that they didn't understand that this is not who his name is. And then make them believe where it says, if my people who are called by my name. Well, they say, well, we're all Christians, but his name is not Christian. The creator himself, his name is not Christian. So this is why they then they had another conundrum that says, oh, well, then we better make Christ God, and he created us, and Christ is the one that's the Lord and everything. Because his name is Christian. Christ, followers of Christ are Christians. But there's a problem. He didn't make himself. The Most High, the creator, sits in his seat. He sits to the right. Okay. So wait a minute. There's a problem with this. But see, as I heard the priest that was talking on the video, and it's funny because he's calling his own self out, kind of, and a little bit of it was that by making people do everything based on emotion, you don't look at the facts. Let me say it again. By making people do everything based upon emotion, okay, you don't look at the facts. Why is that important? Because emotion controls your mind, thought process. If you make people emotional, and this is part of the reason why they wanted Black people, Bantu people especially, to become so emotional, because our emotion doesn't allow us to see things clearly. This is why they want um, passion to be a part of society, to become people, make them emotional about things. Oh, I love Donald Trump. Make them emotional. Oh, I love my college and da 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 da. My college is the best. Emotion doesn't allow you to see reality and proof. That's why even in the scientific world, there's the desire to make people to get emotional about science. Oh yes, I love science. Is da, da, da. You see, because then even when you can disprove certain things, you just ignore it. Oh no, okay. And the same thing happens in the way people are believing these scriptures. Oh, you get emotional about when people challenge it. Oh, you're so wrong. Da, 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 da. But yet you go into the scriptures themselves and show the person this can't be right when you go these different things. Oh, well, that really means this and that really means that. Why? Because when you're emotional and you feel strongly about your stance, you don't allow yourself to see the other side because your belief in who you're challenging my bloodline, you're challenging my lineage, you're challenging this and that. Well, that was the whole point of what the dragon does. He plays off of people's emotions. Because if you become emotional about something that you feel people are wrong about and passionately wrong, then you won't see that there's some logic to the conversation. Okay. This is what the world is about. Okay. Tata nZambi, the Most High wants his people to love him with all their heart, soul, mind. Okay, you don't share this with any other being but him. The problem is when you play the harlot, and I know this for a fact, even as us, as people, when you share your heart with the wrong things, or you don't allow yourself to focus primarily on certain things like you should, it causes you to have indifference of mind. This is where the reprobate mind comes from. Okay. So now when you look at what's going on with Yaounde, Yuda, and Israeli, the concept is if they don't ungubani, because remember we got that, truth is truth, no matter who says it, if you don't know yourself, then how could you know that anybody is searching for you? Okay. this is kind of, think about this. Okay, when you have, and this is a reality in this world nowadays, when you have a woman or even a man, because it go both ways now, or a man that is in a relationship with someone and they have very passionate about this person, they love them, they get married, but then this is say it could do either one man or woman. They go out and they want to start messing around with other people. They're gonna always you're always gonna get yourself involved with other people that are gonna try to make you forget the person that you were with. So if it's the case of a man that's going around messing around with his wife, that woman or the women you go with, you're gonna always find somebody say, "Oh no," especially if you're dealing with people who don't care about or have a lack of respect for the marriage. Oh no, you need to forget that guy, that woman. I'm better, blah blah blah. You need to forget that person, and I'm gonna do everything I can to make you forget this person. Okay, to where you have recognized that even that whenever you see her, you won't even she won't even be recognizable because you've forgotten about her so much. The same thing, or in the case with a woman. Okay, you go out there with these guys. Oh no, I'm gonna make your world so much better, that your life so much better that you won't even recognize this that man anymore. It'll be like, I don't want to be with you. Okay, this is way better over here. Go back to where? I'm not going back to you. This is too good over here. And see, this is exactly why when we now learn that the Most High of Truth, the God of the Bible, was really looking for the Bantu people, the Negroes, and not these other nations. Okay, it brings a shock to it. Brings shock to us. What? Wait, say that again. Oh, and of course, those of us who recognized it, we were taken in, you know, grief, emotion. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Okay, because it's like you become recognized again. That wait a minute, this is why we've been lost all this time. Okay, but then you have those who, when you mention this, it's like, man, come on, that's not true. I know who God is. I know that, this other stuff. Okay, I'm good where I'm at. I like my husband where I'm at. I'm with the right husband, but they can't see that this person has been taking advantage of them, because everything, especially in this world that we're dealing with today, comes with a big price that we have to pay to be where we want to be. Major sacrifices. And yet, those who still kind of want to believe in this Bible or choose to go about it, you cannot convince them. But wait a minute. If the Messiah knows you, or this God knows you, then why can't you show his power the way that the scriptures talk about? Why can't you demonstrate the things that they're talking about? Oh, I got power. I know I can do this. But then the reality is, but wait a minute. This, you see how it says you can control the way, but so when they can't do it, when they can't do it, or they talk about how they can't do it, then they want to come up with other excuses as to, well, the scriptures really didn't mean that. This is where they got it from, and blah 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 blah, which is in reality a mixing of the both the false and real. Okay, because they know Those who have conditioned people with this mindset, who don't really know the Most High as they think, okay, that when you do see that this is really how it was supposed to be, it changes your personality, it changes your whole demeanor, it changes everything about you to say, now, reality check. I can walk with power for real now. Or, yeah, like in my case, you know, my eyes indeed did change. They like they got lighter. Now, of course, that's why I said you go from being the lion that looked like this to now the lion that looked like that. I'm ready to go. Okay. But then the problem is you got these people that don't understand this is the lion they really are. The husband that you're with, you're not really free. You look like you're free, but you're not. You're still in this cage right here, and your eyes are all glazed over, and you don't have any power. You like, it's like they say, the lights are on, but nobody's home when it comes to the connection with the Father. You look like a lion, you act like a lion, you look like a lion, you kind of seem like a lion. Now you got the lion, you got the male lion with the girly hair, and you got the female lion looking like the man, trying to be like the man, the male lion. Okay, you got you know, the lion that's walking around proud but still got a chain around his neck, invisible chain, puffed up. I'm bad, you know what? But yet still got to answer to somebody. Come on, say I don't answer to nobody. But then society would come in with a reality check. Okay, and then you got the line that get turned from one. Okay, you got one pride, which is the Most High's pride, to the other pride. Okay, where there's a lot more disunity, disharmony. I want to be the one in charge, no me. Okay, whereas the other pride is recognizing, oh, there's one in charge, and that's the one we stay with, and we always with that. Okay, this is the issue. You got so many people that think they're following the correct line when really they're following the lion to the creator that's in a cage. That's why he's a dead god, really. His power is limited and can only manifest through trickery and convincing you. And this is how it's been. Okay. Whereas when you walk with this lion, like this lion, everything becomes your senses become acute, attuned. I'm looking, I can feel, you know, the wind in my when I'm running. I can sense things. My I'm more fine tuned. Okay, why is that significant? Because that's what awareness is with the Creator. Is now everything is more in tune, and you can sense things, and you can feel. But see, the problem is, but if you're running together with people the same way, it makes it more of a challenge to come at you. And see, this is why it's so important that the world, that those who really are this lion, okay, don't see that they're still not quite there. And the power that can manifest can really put communities in fear of that power. Okay. But they're afraid, those who know the truth, this is why they have the fear, but they still act like they have the control over the ones in the cage mentally. And how do they do that? They target your income, they target your lifestyle, they target whatever it is that you got. Remember, when you have a disgruntled husband, or you have a disgruntled husband in the Most High, he takes everything you got and get away from me. Then you go to the other person who doesn't see you as important. So everything you get, they try to control it all. Or you know, they flashy cars, big money. Oh yeah, we got everything you need over here. But when you reject it, and trust me, this is what I'm going through. Many people are going to realize this. When you reject it, oh, then I'm gonna take everything I ever gave you, and I'm gonna leave you trying to figure out how to pay for this. And remember how when you run up a bill, this is where you give the people on credit and debt and stuff like this. This is why they want you on credit and in debt. Because then you always have to worry about, this is why they want you paying taxes. This is why they want you doing this. Because when you decide, you know what, this society is really the false Messiah, and I'm going to reject this. Oh, well then we're gonna take this and take that and take this and bam. Now what? Go back to your big daddy, you go, where he at? Where he at? Okay. But the problem, that's the problem. If you're not really connected to the other father, if you haven't really restored your relationship to the real creator, now where are you at? You're struggling. But they're gonna make you struggle anyway. But with his side though, there's always a remedy that will bring you to another level. Okay. And that's why when we look at Lemire 3 and 18, it says, and at that time, your Solomon will be called the throne of Tata nZambi, and all the nations will be gathered into Slama to honor the name of Tata nZambi. That's why Yaya said, Embo, Africa will be, you better get, find a spot where you're going to be if the Most High provides it, you know, chance that Summit is going to be filled up. Okay. They will no longer follow the stubbornness of their evil hearts. Because, see, this is what keeps the rise of the true black man, the Bana Betu, the real black man, the real Abafun, Bantu Benduela, the real followers of the Messiah people, from really rising above the nations is the stubbornness of their evil hearts. That's why he says, if my people will humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear and heal their land. So that's why it's important as you look at the land of Embo, Africa, and the poverty, where you see certain wealth. Okay, that's why it's important to not allow these people to know who they are and to keep them and always put out the negativity and rise and anti this and oh yeah, and it's racism and all this stuff. That's why the Shaitani wants this stuff to continue to be pushed, because now you don't ever get rid of your stubbornness. Your evil hearts that turn against the Most High don't ever return. You continue to go against idols that you're unawares, and you continue to sin. Even though you claim that, oh, I repented of my sins. Repented to who? This is the problem. Because it says in those days, what days is he talking about? See, that's why it's very hard for people to comprehend the Bible who don't belong to the Most High. Because those who really do will understand in those days, he's talking about the end of the age, the end of the wicked ones. When the time comes to end all of the unrighteousness, in those days, the house of Yaounde will walk with the house of nZambi, and they will come together from the land from the north and the land, and they will give and gave to their fathers as an inheritance. But people, this is why it's so important for them to have disoriented the whole concept of the North and South stuff. You all don't even realize how flipped it is because of the way the earth is really oriented. When you see what North and South, East and West really is, it's going to blow people away. How the sun, how the past of the sun and the moon and all and the stars. Because the concept was, if they didn't go so far as to disorient that whole concept, if they didn't go so far as to erase the knowledge of the people, if they didn't go so far as to change what people know, okay, then we would have figured this out a long time ago. And they didn't want that. That is the point of why people are now realizing health issues and problems, realizing all these things that people are, that should have been not happening, realizing, wait a minute, the well, how can this well be, okay? How can the Creator have blessed you when we see wickedness all the time? Okay, that's why it's important to know the king that he mentions in the solar is Isekaya, the rock that we saw, that the real, it says Ditari. This person must bring nations to their knees right off the bat. Right off the bat, by the way. Like, I mean, trembling presidents. The fact that your name was even mentioned and you were brought out should now make all the leaders of this world say, wow, we have a problem when this power comes and manifests. Okay. And that's why Tata nZambi is saying, we Muntu, Bana Kongo, but the black people, Negroes, we need to quit being treacherous. But not everybody's the same black. I'm talking about the people who really can trace their lineages to the Congolese people or to the Bantu people, the Bana Kongo. That's who needs to be stop being treacherous. Okay. But at the same time, there's Ubuntu that are still being treacherous about who they really worship in spirit and in truth. They think they're with the Most High and they're still not. And this is the dilemma, because the world is so afraid of Yaounde. That will help bring Izolele back. And this is why it's important to maintain and can keep the hidden mysteries from the world. And whenever they come out to cause it to be to attack it. And that's why they now have this task force that's coming after all of this. Why? Because now they understand this triggers the true rock of your salvation. Kosana, Kosana, the prince. Blessed, Bilaka be the rock of my salvation. Kosana, Bilaka be the rock. It triggers the shepherd, the good shepherd. But many people are going to be freaking out when they realize they were already following the bad shepherd in many different ways, because many false messiahs, many different false shepherds. That's why he said in the Media 50, my shepherds have led my sheep astray. Well, those are bad shepherds, shepherds who are doing their own thing. Because the one good shepherd, his mentality is, and this is how my perspective as well, it's not about me. It's about making sure we return to the Most High. And let the Most High do his part to glorify whom he chooses. Okay? Because my position is I am a worker for the master. I am a servant for the master who has asked me to be the watchman and do my part to also restore his sheep. Meme, the meme. That's the whole point of this. It's not about how many subscribers that make it important. It's not about how many people talk about me or want or how I put myself out there. It's not about me wanting to join and have to be with anybody else. Okay. It's about me just asking our people to wake up and understand you've been struck by, like Michael said, you've been struck by a smooth criminal. Oh yes. The Bana zombies, the Bana Kongo, the Bana Izolili, the Bantu people, the Bana Kongo, the Negroes, the one that were called the Niger, Niger, not because people are, oh, they're throwing on the N-word. It wasn't always bad. It did have a good meaning at one point. This is how they hide stuff. They added the extra G. That's the concept of dumbing down a nation of people. Make the words that actually mean something good, make you think it means something bad. And then the things that make you, and then here's the catch, make you think that something bad really was something good. That's why they made Kongo say it's a demon. Oh, that's a demon. We looked it up. Kongo's a demon. nZambi, zombie. Oh, that's bad. Oh, but they be called black or African American, which I understand is the connection there, but not Muntu, not which means the head, but no longer Muntu or Bantu, which means multiple head, the people of altogether of the head. There lies the problem, or the Bana Betu, the house, the nZambi. And this is why it's so significant for us. Let's just go to real quickly and I'll be done. Let's see. That's what I'm looking for. Genesis 49, 8 through 12. Let's just look at this. This is the greatest fear of the house of Yaonde, Yuda. Judah, Yaonde. Your brothers will praise you. Your hand will be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons will bow down to you. You are a lion's cub, Yaonde. You return from the prey, my Muntu. Like a lion, he crouches and lies down. Like a lioness, who dares to rouse him? The scepter will not depart. Oh, the scepter, which means the Most High's Nkisi. This is why these people who come from the house of Yaonde, they demonstrate powers of the Most High. Oh, that's sorcery. That's witchcraft. Let them know it quickly or turn them over. Let's use them against the Most High. Because this house of Yuda, who went to Shaitani's side and can't come back. Nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until he to whom it belongs to shall come out, and the obedience of the nation shall be his. Oh, that's why King Kongo, Yesu Christu, came out of the tribe of Yuda, Yaounde, because of this. He had to. He will tether his donkey to the vine, what that word means, his colt to choice branch. He will wash his garment with wine, his robe in the blood of grapes. Is there any reason now why the crucifixion and the donkey now play a role and why Kuswa Kongo came in on the donkey and why the blood took place, the robes? His eyes would be darker than wine, his teeth whiter than milk. Remember they say the black man, if the teeth whiter than milk, they say, I could see the black man in the night. His eyes would be darker than wine. Flame of fire. Okay. Do you see the connection to this scripture to why it's important for the world to not know who the house of Yuda is after we have played the harlot behind our sister, Nzolili, Israeli, and why they must give people different names and different meanings, and why you must connect with certain things that they keep talking about and keep using the other people's concepts of how the scriptures are interpreted, because the most dangerous tribe on the planet is right here, the kingdom, the most dangerous kingdom. That's why they had to say, oh, no, it's not in sub-Saharan Africa like it's supposed to be. It's way up there in Northeast Africa, and it belongs to the people, as you know how Revelation 3 and 9. They're the tribe of Judah. But wait a minute. If you are the tribe of Judah, then why does not the whole world bow down? Oh, why are they fighting you? It says, nor the ruler staff from between until he whom he belongs to shall come. And who does he belong to? And the obedience nation shall be his. So what he's saying is, when Tata nZambi comes, Yaounde will fulfill this every nation will be obedient to this kingdom, to this tribe. But this is not what they teach the Christians. Oh no, when Jesus comes, oh, we'll be with him in paradise and we'll be ruling with him. So you belong to the tribe of Yaounde or Judah? Where do you fit in this? Oh, yes, we know the Messiah, so we're adopted and we're adopted to his tribe. People, this is the delusion that they've given us. Because we already had this. And we went astray with the people who believed the other people who lied. So the Pope Francis, he is now the top leader of Christianity. They don't even realize this now. He's with the tribe of Judah. His church rules all the nations. The scepter never left them. You see, but they didn't exist when the tribe of Yaounde received this. There was no Catholic Church. Okay. So now you understand why it's important to make the world believe other things and not allow the tribe of Yaounde, who is now starting to roar. Keep it down, keep it down, keep it down, tone it down, keep it down. No, 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 you're not roaring. That's the whole point. Because when now that the tribe of Yaounde starts to roar, it's a problem. Because at the same time, you get these people who, that is the whole reason why they had to come up with a chart that said, oh yeah, every black man in America is the tribe of Judah. That's not even possible. That's why you have to have the ones who knew Judah was never divorced, bring the language, bring the truth, bring the understanding to the ones of us who what? Played the harlot and ran after other gods. Even though, yes, some of them in the land did, but they were running away from things too. Okay. Sorry, backstory. This is significant to help us people understand. The world fears this tribe for those who know this tribe. Prophecy. You know this tribe's prophecy, you fear it. You know this kingdom's prophecy, it's a problem. So this kingdom can't know that you never separated from the creator, and it is your role to restore yourself the right way and bring these nations together. That is why it was important for the false Messiah and his people to create copies or how should I say this, modified versions, so that they knew when the real stuff started to drop. Oh no, that's y'all Hamites and this and that. Oh no, Christianity, that's the right way. Because now that the tribe of Yaounde is starting to roar, keep it down, keep it down, keep it down. Shut up. You're fake. You're false. Blah, 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 all this stuff. Oh, this is a lie. You know, they're deceiving you. No, that's not true. This and this and that. It was important Because it ends, like we keep saying, Christianity did not end the reign of Satan the way the scriptures say. Let me explain something. If it was for Christianity, they would have ended the reign of Satan if they were the chosen people or the prophesied truth. It'd be over. So why isn't it over? Think about it. If Christianity is what the creator was prophesying would be, all of this that I just talked about, the bride and everything, the church, the bride, all of this, the church, the church, the church, the bride. We're part of this church. If this was the truth, then why now is it taking 2,000 years to end the reign of the false Messiah and the fallen angels? Why is it taking 2,000 years to bring the world back into peace and harmony? 2,000 years is taking the Christians and look where the world is now. It's even worse than when it was. Well, it was pretty bad 2,000 years ago, but think about it. Look at what the world looks like now. But yet, this is the religion that's supposed to bring peace. Where is the peace? Where is the peace among the nations? Where is the authority of all spirits and wickedness? Where is it? Some of you, and I can agree with this, we struggle to even control our own household, let alone nations. We can't even juggle life as it is when they talk about people in Christianity and other religions. So how can you bring peace to the world? Your own house struggles to be in order because you're in a system that's designed to make you think one way, but is really doing another. They want to create the chaos while making you think you're bringing the peace. Man, come on. It says it right here. The house of Yaounde brings everything back into order. When the one he belongs to comes, and the obedience of nations shall be his. That's why the colt that's bucking, the colt, you see the bucking Broncos, the horses, the bucking and all of the bucking that's going on. Everything's bucking like crazy. Like everything's going berserk like a bucking horse. Stops. You know, the world will no longer be in turmoil once the true bride and bridegroom are together. That's why the people who are calling themselves, it can't be because the world is not at peace. Where? We're talking about blowing people up with nuclear bombs. You know, North Korea just did something. Okay. All this stuff about people worrying about inflation and, oh, we're voting and politicians fighting each other over who's better. Hello? If the house of Israel is already together, then why is this happening? Why do you see crime everywhere going on? You know, the Most High just showed me something today about how he's taking care of those who are being that are dealing with his people the wrong way. This is why it's significant to have so many false prophets, so many false Messiah figures, so many false doctrines, so many misinterpretations. Because the one that worries them the most must stay lost, must stay unaware, must stay confused about this connection. Because once the connection is actually fulfilled, now you see why they're panicking about things that are happening on the earth, but nobody knows why they're really panicking. Politicians resigning like crazy. Oh, I'm going to run. They don't even know why. Because they know that there are members of the house of Yaounde, Yuda. The real members are now reconnecting to the Most High of Truth. And this spells the end and signs to them. So it's important now to say, now that it is happening, keep it down, shut up, shut up. You're not the people. Don't talk about it no more. Liars. Oh, this is all fakery, deception. They're lying to you. They're not the people. We are. That's what they want. Because they know who the creator really favors on this earth. They know who is really, really highly favored. But yet they have to convince other people, no, you're highly favored. No, you're highly favored. No, you're highly favored. That's not possible. Where's the peace? You bring the creator when the highly favored ones return to him. When his wife is restored to him, peace everywhere. Peace. Order. Everything is the way it should be. The nature, the nations, the people. Everything is back in order. Is that where it's at now? Is it even close? As we get ready to celebrate another so-called Christmas, wrong day and everything. Peace on earth. Where? They always talking about peace on earth. Is there peace? Haven't you seen people getting, even during war, you've seen wars around Christmas, people killing and fighting each other. God and sinner reconcile. Where? How often? You see so much debauchery going on around Christmas time where people doing some wild stuff. Where? How does the Most High and sinner reconcile in that song? Not even close. Reconciliation, not nowhere near to be seen. No, where is the repentance? The real repentance. Come on, man. It's a fabrication. It was always a fabrication to hide the truth. But people won't see it now until finally the completion will be coming. And then the world will say, wow, we really got it wrong. And they will see that. Okay. Zola Quingi, Sambololo, where's the Yabba Kongo Twala? And understand, they will know. The whole world will know when the rock and those affiliated with the rock begin to do their work. And you will see this happen because it will shut down things. People will be like in shock, astounded that this is now happening. And it won't have to be the lying signs and wonders that people think. Okay. Ingeta, Sambololo, Mbote Yenge, and Weze Yabe Kongo Twala, and continue to fight the good fight to bring our people back to the knowledge of themselves, and to be once again the Kintwari, the house of Yaounde, the lion, bringing all the other totems together under the one totem. It's what it will be, one nation under the lion. And get the right lion, not the imposter. Sambalolo Zolapringi.